Okay, so today we're going to be going over the top 10 strongest units in Dokkan history. Mega bustedly broken units have all come and went throughout Dokkan's life cycle, and today I'll be ranking 10 of them. Okay, so coming in at the number 10 spot, we have the Tech LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s, who came out with the 7th anniversary. The 7th anniversary, with the release of the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s and the subsequent release of the Ultimate Red Zone, was by far the most drastic power creep this game has ever seen. 90% of the game became irrelevant. But anyways, the units. The LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s had dominant leader skills. They stacked attack and defense on both of their super attacks. They guarded all attacks for their initial entry turn. And they had built-in additionals and super effective against all types built into their kits in just their base forms. They also had amazing link sets and an amazing key mechanic. They get 3 key for every non-tech or physical key or gotten with them, depending on what unit you're using, and they got 4 for their same type key sphere, and some crit chance on rainbow orbs. But after stacking for a bit or right away, you could activate their amazing active skill condition of just being turn 4, and then you could transform into the LR Super Saiyan Blues or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And once they transformed, they just were omega busted. They were the first units in this game's history to nullify enemy actions and got humongous amounts of attack and defense from their super attack effects. They still had their dominant key sphere mechanic, and then the LR Blues would get chance of evading attacks or dodge chance with rainbow key spheres, and LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta got damage reduction with every rainbow key sphere. LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta also had built-in super effective against all types, and the LR Blues got it with 16 key or more. They both also had a pretty good chance of launching in another super attack and built-in crit chance. The LR Blues with some rainbow key spheres could get over a 50% chance to dodge, and then LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta had a 50% chance to counter super attacks, which was later even more buffed because they changed super attack counters from being evasions to nullifications and counters, which was a huge buff. They also both had another active skill. They were the first units in the game's history to have 2 active skills. At least I'm pretty sure of that, which had a pretty reasonable condition for it. And they both, they played some amazing animations and just did a gajillion damage. Now, unfortunately, they don't work the best together since they don't share any key links. The Gods / the Blues were a prepared for battle unit, and the LR Super Saiyan 4s / Gogeta was a shocking speed GT key link unit, but they were still dominant. They were one of the very few units for a decent amount of time that could really stand up to the power of the Red Zone, with bosses like AGL Full Power Broly and Int Omega and Tech Bojack. But that's the 7th anniversary units coming in at the number 10 spot. Moving on to number 9. Coming in at number 9, we have the Dodge Goat, the progenitor of all the Dokkan Dodge memes, AGL UI Goku, the most noble and supreme form in all the universe, whose radiant glow places him at the pinnacle of all Dodgers in existence, the truly transcendent one, the one above all. Okay, the bit aside, the reason why it's just AGL UI Goku and not Evolution Blue Vegeta with him is because although they both got their easy A's and they're both super bustedly broken right now, AGL UI Goku was also bustedly broken, the number 1 unit in the game when he first came out, and Evolution Blue Vegeta was just not quite up to snuff. He had some design issues. But AGL UI Goku, when he came out, he led the best team in the game, Reps of Universe 7. Throughout that 6th anniversary was on a run. That team was broken. Probably one of the best anniversary teams of all time. And everybody knows everything. What hasn't been said about UI Goku, right? He's got crit chance on his super attacks, and he even gives his allies crit chance after he gets his easy A. And then you just, you got a 70% chance to dodge literally everything. Post easy A, it's a 77% chance to dodge. And he gets more dodge chance every time he dodges. AGL UI Goku gets defense when he dodges, and then, just in case you get caught lacking, he's also got his revive, which, especially after his easy A, just needing to be under 77% HP at the start of the turn is not a bad condition at all. Pre-easy A, the condition's a little rough, but, it's a fail-safe. And then post-easy A, he gets a post-revive effect of a free 7 key and 77% attack and defense, and if it's his revive that you popped, and he gets, you know, guaranteed dodge for a turn. He's also got a pretty good active skill condition, 50% or more, starting from turn 4. Pretty good, and then it, you know, plays a beautiful animation. Use on his arms! Goes crazy, and he strikes him in the face. It's beautiful. He also has, of course, just an amazing link set, and he's in a million categories. I mean, UI Goku, he just keeps it a buck, man. I mean, he just dodges, and he's great! Forever gonna be my GOAT, my favorite unit. That's AGL UI Goku at number 9. Moving on to number 8. Coming in at number 8, we have the GT Duo, GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta from the 8th year anniversary. Now, these guys, they had the meta in just an absolute chokehold for a straight year. They were arguably, you know, the best unit in the game for a year straight. Top 3 bare minimum. They led the best team in the game for a year straight. They had good super attack effects, good links, and just a great passive, man. You'd forever keep these guys in basically slot 2 or 3. And there, they got 4 key per STR key sphere and 3 per other key sphere. They do jaw-dropping damage. I mean, just stunning damage. And since their key mechanic was so good, they basically had a very, very good chance on any given turn to super attack 4 times. And on those super attacks, they were stacking their attacks, so they were hitting harder and harder. They built up damage reduction and key. The damage reduction was up to 50%, and the key was permanent, so it was even easier to get there to 24 key on subsequent turns. They were pretty much impenetrable defensively after they super attacked, and they did amazing damage. But they also introduced a new standby skill, and these standby skills, which are just, I guess, inverted active skills, had some powerful effects. Their standby condition was just 50% or less, or turn 4 after they've performed 4 attacks. And once they did their standby skill, you standby or exchange into Super Saiyan Vegeta, who in conjunction with his super powerful super attack effect of just buffing his damage through the roof, along with his allies. He also gave, you know, 8 key and 80% attack all allies. I think is still the highest in the game. Just an absurd amount of support. Since they stack their attack so much, Vegeta could come in and do a million jillion damage on his super attack. Then he'd die because he has little to no defense. And then you'd pop his finish attack, the Super Ultra Spirit Bomb, which just does, I mean, to say insane amounts of damage, especially for the time, would be the understatement of the year. This thing did so freaking much damage, especially if you got Vegeta's super attack beforehand. I mean, good luck to the enemy to survive this, because oh boy. And then you'd revive with 100% HP. So it's just a broken ability, dude. You can pop your revive at any time, do 30 million damage, and then just revive with full HP. Just an insanely broken thing. It's a shame that this unit's like defense is kind of falling off, so they're, you know, falling a little bit out of the meta. And especially in their heyday, they were so good. They were a must run. But that's the GT Duo coming in at number 8. Moving on to number 7. Number 7, I mean, it's Orange Piccolo, man. He's just gonna be a mainstay on any of these uber strong, powerful unit lists. I mean, it's Orange Piccolo, man. He leads a pretty decent team. He's got pretty good super attack effects. He's got guard for his first couple turns. He's got damage reduction. He gives some key support. He's got a decent key mechanic, and he still has a pretty powerful full heal, which then gives him 50% damage reduction. He's got mid links, but it doesn't even matter because his giant form is just so broken. The damage on it is nothing insane, but it is free damage. And you know, he goes giant, and then you can't take damage, and then he cancels the enemy's ability to do anything. The enemy cannot live. They can't exist. They can't super attack. They can't heal. They can't do AoEs. He's essentially an usher, man. He just says go next, man. He's such a straightforward unit, but like the giant form is just so broken. And I think that Dokkan's gonna have to be very cautious on how they use further giant forms in the future because of this guy. I mean, he could be on a Tech Ultimate Gohan type blueprint where they have to make all these guard conditions a little bit weird or odd because of how broken the giant form mechanic is. Or they'll have to change how it interacts with the game, right? And not make it cancel the enemy actions and everything. But that'd be kind of lame and would make Orange Piccolo basically irrelevant, right? So, but I mean, Orange Piccolo, man, the giant form, broken. That's LR Orange Piccolo at number 7. Let's move on to number 6. At number 6, we got Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Peerless Gleam. Oh man, to be released. This guy, very, very, very powerful unit. He started the category meta all the way back in his release of August of 2017, led the fusion category, had a pretty good super attack effect for the time. Still decent on units who get it today. I mean, 50% attack and defense, you can never go wrong with that. And then he just did really good damage, right? And then he wouldn't take damage from the enemy normal attacks because he was so good. And then if they tried to super him, he had a 70% chance to dodge it. And then kick him in the face, man. His super attack counter animation is one of the most iconic animations in this game's history. The kick to the face, it's just, mwah, chef's kiss. A little bit of Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta lore. His card actually used to say high chance of evading enemy super attack, which would normally be a 50% chance, but for Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, for whatever reason, it was a 70% chance. They then changed it when Ain't Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta released to better reflect the card text predicate that they were going for. Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta also had dominant links, and he overall was just dominant, man. He dominated the meta. He was very, very, very good. Easily one of the most iconic units in this game's history. Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta at number 6. Moving on to the number 5, we are at the top 5. Coming in at number 5, we got Tech TUR Vegito Blue. And man, it's a shame that Tech Vegito Blue and Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta got mid-easy A's because, oh man, it would have been so nice for them to dominate like they once did. But hey, man, this guy, he came in and did one thing. That was damage. He was the second hardest hitting unit in the game in his heyday, only behind Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the LR. Amazing links, and when this guy got 4 super attacks, I mean, just dopamine, man. Like, he was so raw. He also led what was probably the best team in the game, right? The super team was just so good. It was a little wonky because, you know, you had a lot of key links, different key links that were dominant, and Vegeta Blue didn't have prepared for battle. You know, Superclass was a heavily prepared for battle team, but it just didn't matter. Vegeta Blue he doesn't need a support. He supports by just eliminating the enemy's existence. Damage support. I mean, that's Tech Vegeta Blue though. I mean, dominance. Dominance incarnate. On to number 4. Coming in at number 4, you got the OG LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. LR ain't Gohan, man. The dominant LR whose 18 key super attack literally was his card art bobbing up and down, man. I mean, this guy was so dominantly powerful back in the day. I remember you'd try to pop a single on a yellow coin banner just to try and pull a copy of LR Gohan. Day of Destiny. He was so broken, man. He did so much damage. He was a nuker back when Dokkan was heavily in a pro nuking type of meta, and he had a great key mechanic, right? He was the originator of getting, you know, additional key per key sphere. I mean, it's literally insane to think that a unit with literally one line of a passive skill was so unbelievably broken, but he was everybody and their mother wanted this guy, dude. He was so dominant, so amazing, and so rare. Like, if you had this guy and you were like showing him off to your friends and everything, like, you were the cool kid on the block, man. Great links, man. This guy, he was so unbelievable, especially in like an age where LRs were just so demonstrably better than all the other units in the game, right? These first couple LRs were they were a step above the meta. That's Int LR Gohan at the number 4 spot though. Moving on for the rest of the list. And since I think it's pretty obvious who the top 3 are, I'm actually going to do honorable mentions on this list. You know, these units just barely missed the cut. There's so many super mega busted units, and there's probably some that I haven't even considered or thought of. But the first honorable mention is the Blue Fusions. I mean, you know, dominant on release for a hot minute, kind of fell off with, you know, Extreme Super Battle Road and their weak defense. But I mean, them in the legendary Goku event, bro, they'd rip Int UI Goku a new asshole every single time they went up against him, man. They were so dominant. And then they got their easy A's and they were dominant again. Still pretty decent. Next we got SGR Super Vegito. The reason I didn't put him on the list is because his defense kind of crept up on him pretty quickly. Well, not super quickly, but decently quickly. They kind of got fodderized by Red Zone because of their low defense, right? I mean, Vegito obviously had the powerful heal and the powerful scouter, but you had to hide him at all costs, but they were the best unit in the game for a good minute, right up until like the 60th anniversary. I mean, they could have made the list, but I mean, I just have horrifying memories of bringing this guy into Red Zone, man. Next, we got AGL Super Vegito. I'm not gonna cap, I just wasn't playing, right, when he was around. He might have a very valid, you know, case to be on this list over some of the units, but I don't know, I'm just not the best judge. Next, we got Tech Ultimate Gohan, who was dominant for a long time, and then he got his Easy A very recently, and he's gonna be dominant for a hell of a lot longer of a time. You know, guard plus greatly stacking is just broken, and now it's guard plus greatly stacking with additionals. Next, we got LR Full Power Jiren as an honorable mention. Jiren does that turn one, you know, the meme, 200% attack and defense start a turn. He was super, very mega bustedly powerful. Honestly, there's not a real reason why Jiren's not on the list. It's just I think that the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s were a bit better on release, more dominant, and that's why he got snubbed off the list. Next honorable mention is STR Cooler, you know, support, dominant team, transformation boost, transformed, great transformation, active skill condition, really good damage in his transformation during his prime, dominant link set, got even better with the link level up update. And the last honorable mention is LR Bulma. Now LR Bulma was actually 11 on my list, but like she just missed out, and honestly it's the same reason as LR Jiren, man. Like she was amazing, still is pretty decent. The support is just such a disgustingly broken thing, and she's got guard and damage reduction, and she's just so good. Her support, like I just don't know if her support will ever not be relevant. Multiple turn support is just so broken, and she's got a full heal with her active skill and good super tech effects and built-in additionals, and she's just a perfect unit. That completes the honorable mentions though. Moving on to number 3, and at number 3 you got LR STR Beast Gohan, the current best unit in the game, so far and away the best unit in the game. He's so unbelievably broken. He leads the best team in the game far and away. He's got some of the best super attack effects in the game. He's got a unit super, which is a really cool animation. Doesn't really matter much because he doesn't take damage, so the enemy action nullification like is not all that relevant, but he does give his allies crit chance on it. And then you know the deal, man. This guy's got guaranteed guard, 80% damage reduction. The LR Gohan key mechanic gets infinite attack raise and crit raise for every attack that he gets hit by in the turn. He also basically does guaranteed crits. He even supports, you know, gives allies key because why not? He's got the best active skill in the game, right? Do you think a million defense with guard and 80% damage reduction is good? Like, I'd say that's pretty goddamn good. His condition for it is just being hit one time. Oh man, well, are you gonna be able to activate that? I wonder. And then he's got, you know, a dominant link set, and he's just unbelievable. Like, yeah, I'm almost scared for what the 10th anniversary is gonna be, because how do you power creep this guy? Jesus, I just choked. How do you power creep this guy? I'm scared, dude. Like, what? There's nothing even like close to him at his best. Him, like, his middling, you know, his like, I mean, is his floor better than every other unit in the game? Probably not, but it's comparable, which is just, I mean, you know, it's flat out insane. He's also on like the best banner of all time, which is, you know, why not? I think like STR Beast Gohan, he's not a must-have by definition, but he's a must-have. Like, he is just that. He is him. But that's STR Beast Gohan at number 3. Moving on to number 2. And at number 2, LR AGL Kale and Cauliflower. Oh man, LR AGL Kale and Cauliflower, man, they're just back in their prime. There wasn't even a unit that came close. Like, STR Beast Gohan, he's great. Like, he's far and away the best unit in the game, but like LR Kale and Cauliflower were like twice as good as every other unit in the game, maybe even more. Like, it was astounding the run they went on from the release in like what, April of 2019 all the way to the year anniversary. You know, the end of January, or February of 2020. That like 9-month run, just dominance. They were so controversial. I mean, you got the infamous quote of them being better than every other unit in the game, 55%, you know. Like, they were just unbelievable. It made people mad how good they were. I mean, especially up against the OG Legendary Goku event, which came out like a month after the release. They just dominated the event, and that was the premium content back then. I mean, they stacked defense. They got dodge chance built into their kits up to 66%. They built up ki. They got more attack for every Universe 6 or Joint Forces or Pure Saiyan category ally on the team. They got guaranteed built-in additional super attacks against Pure Saiyans or, Universe Survival Saga, which most of the Legendary Goku event was both, and it was all a Pure Saiyan enemy, right? It was against Goku, a Pure Saiyan. They had, the best links in the game. They also led the best team in the game. Like, it was just unbelievable. Everything came together for LRK and Khalifa, and they were just absolutely broken. I mean, it's a shame that some of the, the EZAs that they made for, these super dominant, powerful units are not all that good, right? LRK and Khalifa's EZA was decent at best. LR Gohan's EZA was decent at best. Tech Vegeta Blue's EZA was pretty mid. Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's EZA was decent. I mean, besides HLUI Goku, who is a summonable Dokkan Fest LR anniversary unit, I mean, oof. Doesn't look good for those EZAs, man. They were scared of them dominating once again. But that's LRK and Khalifa, number 2, but they're not number 1. And it's pretty obvious who number 1 is, huh? And at number 1, you got the Supreme Warrior, the one above all, STR Super Gogeta, man. Now, he was perfect. Like, closest thing you can get to a perfect unit in this game for their respective time period. His leader skill was literally everyone. All types, everyone. Anyone can be on his team. He was super effective against all types, so he cannot be slowed down by type disadvantage. Defense really didn't matter, so I mean, he was just a buzzsaw. Dominant links, I mean, he was broken. Like, Dokkan can never make a mistake like this again. He was so unbelievably stupid during the first anniversary. He was just way too strong. They'll never make a unit like this ever again. He was so busted that on global they lowered the rates for this guy before he came out. That is malicious. That is malicious intent. They did not want you to have this guy. He's also got the funky hidden potential system, which is like way more stats than all the others for some reason. I don't understand why that is, by the way. Just for the record, I mean, I wasn't playing, some of the really old, like, God leads or whatever have these old ones, right? And I mean, SR Gogeta, dude, stupid. Like, dog, your account was literally worthless if you didn't have this guy. That's how good he was. Your account was trash, irrelevant if you didn't have him. People were deleting people off friends list if they didn't have SR Gogeta. That's insane. That is insane. I mean, I'm probably downplaying it because I wasn't playing then. Like, I can only imagine. I mean, he's just far and away just the most dominant, stupid, like, broken thing that's ever existed. That's STR Super Gogeta, though. I mean, he's just unbelievable. And STR Gogeta, man. Far and away the most broken unit ever. Number 1. But that's gonna do it for my list. Let me know what you thought of my list. If you thought other units should have been on the list, or units that were on the list should have been, in different orders or whatever. Do keep in mind, though, that if you disagree with me, you're wrong. But that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for stopping by.